I'm Snap Strategy, and today I'm going to be teaching you just how powerful diplomacy can be by using it to form the Kingdom of Ireland in just 6 years, with Petty King Murchad, whose family once ruled over Ireland, but now, thanks to local wars and Viking invaders, his dynasty has been reduced to nothing compared to what it once was. And Murchad has been reworked to now have a diplomacy focus, which is great, as diplomacy is not just about making friends and keeping your vassals happy, although that is amazing. You also get unique casus belli, great stat boosts, and it makes vassalizing your neighbors pretty easy. This tutorial will focus on the bare minimum though, just to make it as easy to follow for first time players. First thing is going to be selecting our lifestyle focus by clicking on the 3 arrows in the bottom left, then into diplomacy. Here you can see the 3 focuses available. But for this, we are going to pick the Majesty Focus, mainly for the extra prestige gain, as we need to spend prestige to go to war, so getting as much of that as possible is very important. Also, as Murchad, you will notice you start with quite a few perk points already selected for you. But for now, we can just leave them how they are and worry about those later. And you're also going to want to get married. And if you click the stewardship icon, it will sort all of the available spouses by that stat. Although, make sure they are not too old, as once they reach 45, they will stop being able to have any children. And once you've found somebody, click on them and click send proposal. And in just a few days, just like that, you're now married. Then we just need to head to our council and put our wife on managed domains, which boosts our stewardship skill and our income. You will also get an event about your marriage, allowing you to pick either gold or prestige. And today we'll be using a lot of gold, so make sure you pick that up. Now, before we even think about expanding, we need some allies. Not so much for our wars, but this is Crusader Kings III, so you never know who is planning to attack you. There's not really much stopping England or Scotland deciding they want Ireland too. So we need to right click on our son and find spouse. This time, open the drop box and select alliance power. Now there's a lot of choice, but I'm gonna go with Gwynedd, as they are pretty powerful and very close. And the problem with somebody like William of Normandy, yes, he's much more powerful, but we will get dragged into his war for England, and we really don't need to be dealing with that right now. But once the proposal's been sent, just wait a few days and you can see your new alliance right here. And now finally it is time for our very first war, as we hold the Duchy of Munster, which if you click the green crown in the bottom right, you can see all the de jure land. This means that really we should hold Desmond, allowing us to declare war for our de jure land. Once declared, we just click the raise all armies button and your army will begin to raise. Now, you are a lot more powerful than Desmond, so for this, just select your army, right-click their capital, you will have no issues defeating his armies and sieging his land. And then after, a few sad attempts of them trying to win a battle, your war score will reach 100%. Click on the war icon in the bottom right and enforce demands, and just like that, we have taken our very first county and a new vassal with it. But as we are so skilled at diplomacy, we have the ability to befriend our new vassal. If successful, this will stop him ever being able to join factions against us. And thanks to the friendly council perk, each friend will also give us 2 random perk points. And also, sound foundations means each child will also give us a random perk point. So if we end up having 5 children and 5 friends, this can increase our stats by 15, which is very, very powerful. Although, another great use of diplomacy is the forced vassalage casus belli. And as we are a duke, we can use this to quickly vassalize county tier rulers. So just like before, we are going to click declare war, but this time use the forced vassalage casus belli, and just like with Desmond, easily defeat them. Although for you, it could be different. Always check right here just to see if they have allies, and if they do, open the current situations tab at the top and just make sure to call yours for backup. But either way, raise all, move your armies, and take out Leinster and enforce demands. Although, I do have a slight problem. The castle garrison has 775 men, and we only have 602. This means it's completely impossible for us to actually complete the siege. And our one ally is currently busy in their own war. But we're Irish, and our culture has the polygamous tradition, so we can have up to 4 spouses. So this time, we're just going to click here, sort by alliance power, and get a second alliance with Ulster. Once made, click on the current situations tab, click on you can call allies to war, and then call Ulster. And as soon as they arrive, we can finally siege and win. Now, of course, we could continue to wage war and take over all the other counts, but my favorite way to use diplomacy is by peacefully vassalizing other rulers. Just right click on another ruler and click offer vassalage. Low, normal, and high obligations just change how much taxes and levies they will provide, but honestly, that can be changed another time, so just go with the highest amount you can. And if we hover over the number at the bottom, we can see all the different modifiers affecting our ability to vassalize. And we're already able to vassalize Ossory, but Athlone and Dublin refuses. But as we do have a nice chunk of gold saved up, we can build some more men-at-arms by clicking on the military tab, create a men-at-arms regiment, and we can just get some bowmen as they are cheap. Click create, click on them again and increase its size to 2. After a bit of time has passed, they would have been fully built up, and now, if we recheck, we are now able to vassalize both of them thanks to our improved difference in military strength. And just like that, we have our first new perk point. But first, if we check the vassalization chance of Oriel, it's pretty close, but we need even more. Thankfully, we can change that easily. Going back into our lifestyle, we want to pick up the True Ruler perk. This gives our offer vassalization a +20 chance. To do this, we are going to reset perks in the top right. This does give us 85 stress, but that's okay. And now with all our perk points refunded, we are going to pick up all the perks in the August tree until we get True Ruler, but we still have some left. So we are going to pick up Thoughtful for a big increase in the opinion gained from sending gifts. Ducal Conquest, as this makes creating titles 20% cheaper, as well as a nice useful Casus Belli. And Defensive Negotiations, as this lets us make an alliance without needing any marriage. But most importantly, makes independent rulers gain a +15 opinion of you, making vassalization easier. Then I'll put the rest back into Family Hierarch to eventually get those stat bonuses from our children and friends back. And just like that, you should now have no issues vassalizing every other ruler in Ireland other than Connacht. If not though, that's okay. You can start to try and befriend the other rulers, send them gifts to increase their opinion, or build up your army even more to increase the difference in military strength. Which, after doing some of those, you will now easily be able to vassalize every other count in Ireland. The big problem with Connacht, though, is that we are both Duke tier rulers, which makes vassalization impossible. So we have two options. The first is if we go to our council, then get our bishop to fabricate a claim on a county, and by hovering over the button, if it says a claim on duchy is possible, this means your bishop has enough learning to sometimes give you an entire duchy claim. So click on the button and then click on a county in his land. If you get a duchy claim, buy it, go to war and conquer it. But why do all that work when there's an even easier way to do it? Vassalize them, which I did just say was impossible. But if we click on our title in the bottom left, then head to the Kingdom of Ireland, we can see that we own enough of Ireland to form a kingdom title. We first just need 325 gold and 2 duchy titles. So if you click on any of the duchy titles here, then create title, and then if we head back to the title of Ireland, we now simply just need the gold. To speed this up, go to your council and click the 2 spinning arrows next to your steward, and then click on the stewardship icon. Hopefully, we will have somebody here better than your current steward, so assign them and make sure they are on collect taxes. Another simple way to increase our monthly income is by changing all of our vassals' contracts. Click Realm in the top right, then Vassals, and here we have a list of every single one of our current vassals, and each one has this Modify Vassal Contract button. And for every single vassal, we want to lower their feudal levies, but increase their feudal taxes by 1. And just like that, we are now making 5 gold per month. But if that's still not enough for you, my favorite way of getting gold as a Christian ruler, ask the Pope. You will need some piety, and the Pope has to somewhat like you, but you can either sway or befriend the Pope. Although sometimes that does just fail. Either way, just like that, in a few months, we have enough gold and can create the Kingdom of Ireland, allowing us to vassalize Connacht even on high feudal obligations. And just like that, we have a fully unified Ireland in just 6 years by using the power of diplomacy. And for the most part, peacefully becoming a mighty king.